Checking in now with the head coach of the Liberty men's soccer team, Jeff Alder. The Flames through 8 games, 4-4 starts of the season. Flames have now won 3 of their last 4 as well. Took a tough 1-0 setback at East Tennessee State the other night, but time now to get ready for conference play. And Coach, before we get into that, let's revisit your first 8 games here. You played some very tough teams, as we were talking just a few moments ago. How do you feel like your team has performed through the first 8 games?
Not good enough. Not good enough. We feel we could be 6-2 right now. I told them last night how proud I was of them in terms of their efforts, their attitudes, their willingness to embrace something bigger than themselves. We know we're a couple plays away from being 6-2 right now. However, with that said, we played East Tennessee State, we played James Madison. Howard's a very tough place to play. NC State's obviously a good team. William & Mary's a good team. And so we feel we've played 4 or 5 potential NCAA tournament teams. 4 or 5 teams. James Madison won their CAA last year. William & Mary won it the year before. Obviously, East Tennessee State's one of the top teams in the Southern Conference. They've been to the NCAA tournament. So we ran our guys through the gauntlet. And that 3-game road swing going to Howard, James Madison, and East Tennessee State, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. However, I made the schedule. And so I felt let's put our guys in some tough environments and let's see how thick our skin is. And so I think overall, boys did great. I thought last night we could have got a tie at East Tennessee State. We missed a couple chances. They missed a couple chances. Unfortunately, it came down to a couple guys getting tangled up in the box, and they called a penalty kick, but that's soccer. You've got to make sure you don't put yourself in those situations. But regardless, I'm very proud of our togetherness and our resiliency, because right now we are off the charts in terms of our willingness to compete against anybody, anywhere, at any time. And I'm done with that now, Nick.
Yeah, East Tennessee State team that had just knocked off a top 20 or top 15 Kentucky team previously before that as well. Are you encouraged by the fact that you're in those games with a chance to get a result?
Oh, absolutely. And we talked with our boys about this schedule, and there's a razor-thin line between winning and losing. And they just took 3 goals off of Kentucky down there, 4 or 5 days before we go down there. They beat Kentucky 3-1, and here we are 11 minutes left in the game, and it's just back and forth. And unfortunately, they caught us on a counter, and one of the balls didn't get cleared properly, and they get a penalty kick to beat us. But we were right there at the end. And so now we're putting ourselves in those positions, but like we challenged our attacking guys, our front 6, we just went 180 minutes against James Madison and East Tennessee State, 2 former NCAA tournament teams, and we did not concede a goal during the run of play. Unfortunately, they got the penalty kick. So now we challenged our front attacking guys. We're creating and generating good chances. Now we've got to say who's going to get the next one, who's going to score a goal, and the boys have done it before. We have a belief that they're going to do it, but we have to continue to put ourselves in those spots, and then that razor-thin line has got to swing our way if we continue to create these chances.
Interesting trend that I've noticed with your team offensively. You've scored 11 goals in 8 games this year. 9 of those 11 have come in the second half. Why do you think that is?
I really think we're doing a good job of making adjustments at halftime, because obviously the first half is very chaotic. Both teams are trying to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work. But I think we have made some good adjustments at halftime, and our guys have stuck to the plan. They've stayed the course with whatever adjustments we've made. And we're generating chances. I mean, these guys yesterday, we generated some real good looks. Unfortunately, their keeper made a couple good saves, and we had a couple that just went wide. And so the chances are there. We would be very concerned if the chances weren't there. But now it's a matter of slowing your heart rate down, picking the right type of shot, maybe making the extra pass, doing the little things that will lead up to us beating a team like that.
Well, now it all starts to really matter as we head into the weekend here. We've got Winthrop coming to town. Big South Conference play begins Saturday at noon. The Eagles coming in with their longtime head coach as well. This is his last season, I understand. Tell us a little bit about the emotions and the game plan going into this.
Well, we love competing against Winthrop because they always bring the best out in us. And if you look at the history of the Big South, the last 8 years, we've been to the title game 4 times, and we've won 2 of those. Well, every time we've had to go through Winthrop at some point or another during that tournament run. And so Winthrop has, obviously been a thorn in our side. We love Coach Posipenko. We love competing against those guys. It'll be a little bit emotional because, again, he and I have got such a great relationship and friendship. He's been a mentor to me. He's been a friend who's come alongside of us during my wife's journey as we've battled cancer, because his wife is a breast cancer survivor. So he understands what it's like to go through something like like that. But he knows, and I know that we're going to give each other our best shots. And at the end of the game, say, hey, I love you, Coach. And again, hopefully we see you down the road. So it's going to be a great game. And like we told the boys last night, we're 4-4 right now. Think we could be 6-2, but now, all those experiences I put them in, we feel prepared us for Saturday, and then next Saturday, and then the following week. And so we feel we have seen a little bit of everything this year to prepare us for the battles that are to come as far as Big South play is concerned.
Coach, appreciate the time. Wish you the best of luck coming up here on Saturday, okay?
All right, thank you. Go Flames.
That's the head coach of the Liberty men's soccer team, Jeff Alder. The Flames take on the Winthrop Eagles on this field Saturday at 12 noon. In Lynchburg for the Liberty Flames Sports Network, I'm Nick Pierce.